Well, 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 fancy meeting you here. It's a new year, same old me. Welcome to 2023 and welcome to Stuff Time. I'm Stephanie and I wanted to share with you everything that I made in 2022. I'm really happy with everything that I made. I was able to dig into my personal style more and I grew a lot. This is not to make you feel bad about your level of output. Let's get it started with some sleeveless / tank tops that I sewed this year. This is a self-drafted reversible side tie tank. This is from a thrifted shirt. This was kind of the first toile in me making this into a pattern, which I'm very excited about, which I'm hoping it will release in the next few months. But I do love this top. It is super versatile. I mean, you're getting like 2 garments in one. The only thing I will say with this fabric, because it's actually woven, these threads are woven, I wish I would have stay stitched it before I started working with it because some of these threads came loose. But I love this, and there is one more version of this that was probably one of my favorite makes this year. All right, so this is the probably like 3rd or 4th toile of my side tie tank. This one I do love. There's still some things about it that I need to change, but I love this one because I actually quilted all this, and these are all pieces scraps from previous projects. I have all the projects that these quilt squares came from on my Instagram if you want to check that out. But this was super fun. This is something I will never get rid of. It also fit like a dream. So I felt really good after making this because now I will have 2 different ways of constructing this side tie tank, because this one was using bias binding and this one was using the burrito method. I also have a video about bias binding on my Instagram if you're wanting to check that out. It's a really easy way to make continuous bias binding. I think I also have it here on YouTube, so check that out. If you guys are excited about this pattern at all, stick around, follow me on Instagram, follow me here so that you know when it's available for you guys to get a hold of, because I'm really excited about sharing this one. It is a simple white tank top that I actually made using the Lola tank from Stay Stitch Pattern Co. from a thrifted men's shirt that had a lot of stains, so I was able to cut around the stains on the shirt. I just thought it had a really nice rib knit texture here. And I just kind of widened out the armholes because their pattern cuts in quite a bit right here. And this has been my go-to tank top, especially in the summer. It just goes with everything. And I also got to use the ribbing for the shirt, which is really cool. Up next, I have this Rose Cafe bustier. This is a dress pattern, but I've made the top version a couple of times. But the reason I did this was because Daria Pattern Making released a small cup download for the pattern, because when I made it previously, I found it really difficult to do a small cup adjustment. There was a lot of empty space in there. So I think I ended up doing a double A on this. I think it fit great. It made the girls look really good. And this was remnants from a shirt that I had made last year or the year before. So it was fun to use those scraps, and I think it turned out really cute. This one's also made from a thrifted shirt. This one's a little weird. I made it really last minute before going to an event this summer. I used the ribbing from actually that tank top's shirt to do the ribbing here and here, as well as the under boob scoop that turns into the strap. This was self-drafted. I actually really do like the pattern. I just think that it kind of fit me a little funny. I think what I would do differently next time is make the cups a little less deep. And I love the brown, white, and black stripes on this. I think it's so cute. All right, let's talk about tops that have sleeves, because I did make some of those. Ooh, hold on. This is the Elliot top by Cool Stitches. I thrifted this fabric and it was baby curtains. And I added this little panel here of gauze, so it's kind of breezy, see-through. It's giving Southern Belle. I made matching pants as well, but I really actually don't like to wear them together, so we'll just keep them separate. If you watched last year's What I Made in 2021 video, you probably saw that I made a few of these. I do love this pattern, and I believe that Cool Stitches still offers it for free. I was gifted this Fougere shirt by deer and doe patterns, but this one is just super fun to layer. I'm trying to incorporate more black into my wardrobe. This is kind of a happy medium as it's brown and black. I'm really proud of the construction on this one because it just looks very neat. Yeah, so I'm proud of this one. I like it a lot. Up next is the Nico top by True Bias. I made a few of these. I did a kind of batch session with them. I got this fabric at a thrift store. This fabric is so soft and it makes for a great underlayer, especially for the winter. I tend to grab for a super soft like turtleneck, mock neck to wear under anything. So I'm super excited about this one. This one may look super similar on camera, but it is a waffle knit fabric. Another great layering basic, and this fabric is super soft and its waffle nature should also lend some warmth. I tried a different hemming technique and it worked, but I think I'm still gonna have to twin stitch it down so that it stays folded down, if that makes sense, because it keeps flipping up. This fabric's a little bit thicker, so it has a little bit of a tighter fit, but it's super cute, super warm because it's a sweater knit, and I'm excited to wear them. I made them right before Christmas. They're still yet to be worn out. The last one in this category, but not the least, this is the penny pullover by Moi. The pattern itself is a genderless, boxy raglan sleeve sweatshirt. I think turned out really great. I did a great job with the top stitching. However, I really don't like this fabric. It's got elastane throughout the knit, and if you have any sort of like hangnail or dry skin or anything, if you just like drag your hand across it, it snags it. My hands aren't even like that crusty. Proud of it, and I'm obviously very proud that I was able to release my first sewing pattern in May. That was a huge accomplishment of mine in 2022. If you're interested in grabbing that, it'll be down in the description box below. But this fabric, ain't it? Let's talk about pants or bottoms. I'm gonna start with that same fabric from the sweater I didn't like. I made this as the bottoms to match that sweater for a loungewear set that I made that you can check out here. I forget which side. If I can't tell you enough how much I don't like this fabric, watch me unfold these. So again, not my favorite fabric, but these are the Bay Flares by The Hemming. The pattern was kindly gifted to me. I mean, I still wear them. They just kind of collect some fuzz and stuff like that. But they are super cute, super comfy, and super warm. And I think this pattern is really great if you're looking for a stylish pair of pants to add to your loungewear collection. Alrighty, if you watched last year's video, you probably saw that I made a fun pair of striped self-drafted pants. Well, I continued to work on that pattern and made these pants, which are the matching pants to this shirt. However, these turned out super cute. They look really good with that white tank top, but I'm still perfecting the fit of these, but I have a double welt pocket tutorial on my YouTube if you want to check that out. I love that they add a level of like, I don't know, sophistication to these pants, and I want to continue to work and perfect this pants pattern this year. I even got to use this cute little vintage button. This is another fun pair of pants that I made for my Washington trip. These are the cargo pants by This Is Kashi. I didn't follow the pattern exactly because I ended up making zip-offs for them. I made these out of ripstop material from Joann's, and I added zippers so that they could transform into shorts when I was hiking, and they were great. They're super breathable, but they're also made from ripstop, so it directly on my skin was a little sweaty. So I think next time for the waistband, I would do something softer around my waist so that they weren't so slippery and didn't get so sweaty. And I also got to wear them for Halloween as Kim Possible. So I love these pants. I'm excited to wear them more next year and probably make some more technical clothing. It was a lot of fun. It was a good challenge. I worked with pleather for the first time this year. These are some self-drafted pants that I made for a video right here. I drafted these using the Lutterlow system, which was my first time drafting something with that. Yeah, this fabric was also gifted to me by a company, and I think that they turned out great. I think if I were to work with pleather again, I would do something that was a little bit more tight fitting. so that I didn't get any weird drag lines. But for a first attempt, and for this really being the first toile using that pattern, I'm pretty satisfied. I think they turned out super cute, and they also do great favors for the behind, so. I really love these. They're really versatile, and they're this cool kind of olivey brown color. I snuck these into 2022 because while I did make them, I think in 2019, I changed them a lot this year. They were basically unwearable since the time that I made them. They are the Dawn jeans by Megan Nielsen Patterns, and I made them out of duck canvas from Joann's. It has absolutely no stretch. This pattern out of the gate for me already was a pretty tight fit, so these were pretty unwearable as they had really bad camel toe and they just kind of hurt because they were so tight. So what I did is I took out all of the side seams, loosened them up as much as I could, and I also added this entire panel down at the bottom, which changed the shape entirely because they were very high crop. But I wanted to include them for no other reason than to maybe inspire you to readdress some of the clothes that you've made or have to make them more wearable and fit your wardrobe better as time moves on. Here is another very cute pair of trousers that I made this year. These are the Chandler trousers by Untitled Thoughts. I really do think this is a great beginner trouser pattern as the construction is really nice and the back is elasticated, which gives you a lot of wiggle room. I love the slant pocket into the waistband. They're just some really cool design techniques that I learned while making these, and this fabric is just lovely. Yeah, I think these turned out really, really cute. These are the Protea pants by Paradise Patterns, and this is also another great beginner trouser pattern if you're looking to try one out. These have a higher waist, a lower crotch, and a wider leg, as well as a side pocket, which is really cool to construct. I tested this pattern for Paradise Patterns. This fabric was thrifted and I love it. I actually wore these to my family Thanksgiving. However, this fabric is pretty scratchy. I'm not sure what the fabric content is. It could have some wool in there or it could just be scratchy synthetic. However, if I lined them, they'd be easy to wear. But for some reason this fabric irritates my skin. So if I were to do it again, I would just line the waistband and line the pants and they'd be perfect. Let's talk jeans, shall we? Because I made 2 pair of the Helene jeans by Anna Allen Clothing. This was my first pair of Helene jeans made from thrifted denim. And I think that these turned out great for basically being my first toile of this pattern. I did double fronts on them a la Rudy Jude, and I made a video about that if you'd like to check that out. Scooped out and lengthened the back crotch on this one, but I should have done it to the front as well. But either way, I have worn the heck out of these jeans. They're looking really nice as they wear in because you're kind of starting to get those wear marks on them. Yeah, and I was just really proud of how these turned out. I feel really good when I wear them. They're very comfortable and easy to work in, and I would recommend this pattern to you if you're looking to make jeans. There are obviously other jeans patterns out there. I haven't tried them all, but I do really like this one. And I want to show you the next pair that I did make. I made these to go on my main trip. I've got some feelings about them, so let me show you. They are Helene jeans, yes, and I used some scraps to do this cool color blocked line down the back. To be honest, my only complaint is that these jeans are just so blue. They're so blue. But I did lengthen and scoop out the front crotch. It looks a lot better, so I will continue to do that in the future. It was fun to add this little creative touch. I love a good color block. Would make again and would recommend to a friend. If y'all ever been cold, because I know I have, so I made some outerwear and I'm gonna show you. All right, starting with this jacket. This is the Agnes Pajamas top. So it's got this dolman sleeve, which makes it a super easy construction. I made a video about it that you can check out here. This fabric is polyester with a wool blend, and it is so warm. This is probably one of my warmest jackets, even despite the fact that it is cropped, majorly cropped. I meant to do a longer length of jacket, but I ran out of fabric. So there's that. And this year I also made matching pants to go with it. These are the pants from the Agnes PJs pattern, but they are also my warmest pants. This is what they look like. They have an elasticated waist. Yeah, my biggest gripe is that they don't have pockets because they don't have side seams. I'm really proud of this set. I think it turned out super cute. I also use these cute mod 60s buttons from the stash that I acquired from my grandma. If anything, if I find myself not wearing these pants a ton this year, I could use this fabric to make this coat longer, which could be pretty cool. I don't know. So we'll see, and if I change it up, I'll definitely let you know. Let's talk about this quilt jacket, okay? One of my favorite things I made this year by far. I got this quilt from the thrift store, and it was also a quilt that I spotted in Stranger Things, which is wild because Stranger Things is filmed here in Atlanta. So I think that after filming stopped, they donated it and then I bought it. I have a video coming out soon about how I constructed this and a little bit about the process, but this was made using the Paola workwear jacket, which is a free pattern from Fabric Store. And I'm really excited about this jacket just because I got to use the original end of the quilt, which added this really nice scalloped edge. And I even reused some of the appliques from another part of the quilt to add these really cool star pockets on the front. Something I'm also very proud of is I did either flat felled seams or bias bound seams throughout the entire jacket, which will help the jacket to live much longer life. And I think it just adds to the quality of the jacket. And I also added this cute little tag that says, "You're a good egg." But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. That video will be out soon. And yes, I did make this in January of last year and I filmed it then and I still haven't put the video out, but it's coming to you soon and maybe a year late, but you better keep your eyes peeled because it's coming, okay? I know I keep saying that these are some of my favorite makes, but this was definitely up there. I made two things this year called the Fougere. This is the Fougere by Lizimac. I love wearing this sweater. I wear it to work. I wear it out and about. It's just a statement piece. I feel like this is like me. It is a pullover. It has a full button front or a half button. I went with the half button here and used fleece from Joann's as well as this Sherpa from a thrifted sweater that I was about to donate and was no longer wearing. I love the color blocking. It's built into the pattern. I did a couple mods and I made a video about it, so you can definitely check that out if you'd like. I added pockets as well, side pockets rather than the drafted front pockets. And I got to use some of my favorite flannel that I thrifted and used last year for a couple garments, but I got to use it on the inside, which adds extra warmth. Really proud of this one, and this is another thing that I also did flat felled seams or bias bound seams throughout the whole thing. When I say I feel like I'm leaning more into my personal style, this is definitely one of those things. So let's talk about dresses. I'm not a super casual dress wearer, though I am still on the hunt for that kind of like perfect layering dress. But I did make a few dresses this year that I would like to share with you. So this was the Orchards dress that I did a pattern test for Vivian Xiaochen. She did a sleeve expansion and that was what I was testing. I actually ended up lowering the waistline because I'm not a huge empire waist girly, but the original pattern is an empire waist and it's very like, I don't know, it's just like so cute. I just don't think it suits my style as much. But also I have a hard time kind of wearing this tan color, so I felt it washed me out a little bit. But this is a linen blend from Joann's. It was super easy to work with, and I'm super proud of the construction. It has pockets, and it even has a waist tie with little waist loops. I ended up selling this to one of my good friends. She's now getting lots of use out of it. Also, I put a cute little tag as a cat on it that says sidekick, because my cats are constantly in my lap when I'm sewing. I mean, I do love the style of this dress, just not for me personally. And I had a good time making this, and I think you would too if you like this style. But moving on to my next and favorite dress. This was the dress that I made. I don't know, the straps look so tiny. For my best friend's wedding. We went to Mexico City for her wedding in April. And this is made out of silk that I got on the remnant shelf. This is made from 2 yards. It is I'm so proud of this. This was the Rose Cafe Bustier. So that's what I made this for. This was kind of a test, so I ended up going up a size in the cup for this one. Oh my gosh, it turned out amazing. My only qualm with this one, also, really quick, the invisible zip turned out great. My only qualm was that I probably should have tacked the shoulder ties, because since they are 100% silk, they came untied a lot at the wedding, but that's also because I was tearing it up on the dance floor, so you can see some of the action here. I had a great time in this dress. I also wore it to New York Frocktails, as you can see here, with some internet friends that I met for the first time. I would say this is probably my #1 favorite make of this year. I had such a good time with it. And if you guys want to see a video on how to make a dress like this, please let me know. I also included a leg slit on the front, which added a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of saucy. I was this close to using this fabric to make a pajama set, if you will. So I'm really glad that the opportunity came about for me to use this for this dress, because it was so special. All right, now for our special category. I also made this really fun thing for my husband's surprise 30th birthday party that I threw him earlier this year. It was a Matrix themed party, and I had to make something for it. And I was Trinity, and I made Trinity's jacket. Check it out. Hold on. This was super fun to make, but the fabric was very difficult to work with. It was just so sticky, like it sticks to itself really bad. But I self-drafted the pattern using the Letterlow system, and as well as just some kind of like draping. I feel so cool in it. Here are some pictures from that. The party was a hit because I felt amazing. I also, after Mexico City this year, my husband and I went to Tulum, and I wanted to make a bathing suit for the first time. Made this bathing suit here. This was the Alley Top by Edgewater Rave in the Oakley bottoms, and I think it turned out really cute. For my first bathing suit, I'm really proud of it. Fabric is just a little thin, so I would definitely add some sort of like lining or something, because, you know, would definitely make a bathing suit again. It was a super quick sew, and I felt really good in it, and I think it turned out pretty sexy. All right, so this next dress actually was not for me. I had the pleasure of costume designing a short film. So this dress was actually made for one of the actresses playing a 50s housewife kind of scene, and I made it from a vintage pattern, this one here, and I made it from vintage fabric from my grandma's stash, as well as a zipper and notions from the 50s, which I think was just like so cool. Also not necessary. I think it turned out really cute, and I wanted to include it here because it was something I made this year and I'm really proud of it. Got a side zip here, and I think it turned out super cute. And while we're on the topic of jobs I worked on this year, I also worked on a movie called The Yule Log for HBO and Adult Swim. I made one of the characters' costumes. I will insert a little photo here. It was super fun. It was my first time going to a like measurement meeting, fittings, all the way to the final product. I'm really proud of myself. It was a good push for me creatively and technically. And if you want to check it out, be my guest. My husband also was a cinematographer for the movie. Here are some other things that I sewed this year. This is the Essential Clutch by Top Stitch. It is a free pattern. I have a video about how I quilted this fabric to make this, and I also added a strap so it could be a crossbody bag. I wore this purse like all summer. It just reminded me of a picnic. But again, this was all made using scraps from other projects, so that was pretty cool. I also sewed myself up a craft case. This pattern is by Cool Stitches. I also have a video on it if you want to check that out. And it just holds all of my knitting and crochet supplies here. I have a set of interchangeable needles, but the case that it came with just doesn't fit everything else that I have. If I did another one in the future, which I might, I would just make sure to add some really stiff interfacing or use a stiffer fabric. This one's a little bit floppy. What did I knit this year? I'm excited to see my knitting journey kind of grow and change and allow me to be more creative as I learn the craft. Let's start with my very first make of the year was these socks. These are the Comfort Socks by Ozetta, and I had a really good time knitting these. This is some wool that I actually found at the thrift store. My only thing with them is, for my first sock, I was just very excited to be done with the sock and try it on. And I didn't quite make it long enough. As you can see here, these socks are pretty different in size. I've got probably like an extra inch on this one. This one in the back fits me perfectly. For my first pair of socks, I'm incredibly proud of them, and they've worn in a lot and kind of felted on the bottom. Great time knitting my first pair of socks, which is something I swore that I would never do because I said, you know what's such a waste of time? Knitting socks. And here I am knitting socks, and I had a great time. So I would definitely recommend, if you want kind of a quick project or an opportunity to work with smaller needles than you're used to, socks are great because you see progress really fast. Speaking of this wool, I use the rest of this wool for this. This is a Sophie scarf. This pattern is by Petite Knit, though Drop's design has a very similar pattern that is free, but it's knit up in garter with this really cool edge technique that I hadn't tried before. And it is just a little scarf. And this was a great project to use the rest of this yarn for because I only had like 50 grams of it left. But if I did another Sophie scarf, I would do something that was a little bit finer of a yarn and do it a little bit longer so I could kind of wrap it around twice. But either way, I think it turned out super cute and it was a great use of that yarn. And now I have a scarf and socks that match. Not to mention, this was thrifted. So it was probably like $2 or $3 for a really nice skein of wool yarn that now I have 2 accessories to keep me warm. I just love it. Speaking of socks, here's one sock I knit. You may be asking yourself, where's the other sock? Well, it's almost done, but I did finish this about 3 months ago and then didn't work on the second sock. Well, I have been working on it just very, very slowly, but I think this is super cute. This is made with sock weight yarn. I knit these using the Everyday Sock pattern by Petite Knit. This yarn is really cool because it's self-striping, so I didn't have to like switch yarns or anything. And if you want some cool stripes in a sock, I would definitely recommend finding some self-striping yarn because it just makes the whole process a lot easier. Also, something I realized about knitting socks, it sucks if you've got bigger feet because you just gotta keep knitting, man. I feel like people with size like 6 foot can just like knit up socks super fast. This still deserves recognition, okay? Because it's finished. I made a couple of knit vests this year that I'm incredibly proud of. This first one is one that is self-drafted. It is made with cotton yarn for the majority of it, and it is, again, self-drafted, so I just made up this pattern as I went, and I did this really cool graphic. That is the front and the back. This is acrylic, this is also acrylic, and this is wool. These are just scrap yarns that I had. And this is twisted rib knit around the edges. I just think it looks super nice. I'm very proud of this. And it's something I can wear in the spring and summer a little bit easier since it is cotton. Do you guys like this? Is this something you'd be interested in knitting yourself if I made it into a pattern? Up next, this is another one I'm very proud of. I finished it this fall. This is the Courchevan Slipover by Strickacaf. And I'm so sorry, I know I butchered that. So this vest, I got this yarn secondhand on Ravelry. I bought it off of somebody's stash. And it's got this beautiful basket weave pattern. It is quite warm because it is this really nice wool. I'm just very, very proud of the craftsmanship on this. Whenever I made a mistake, I just frogged it and started over. And I think it turned out really great. And this vest got to travel with me to New York, to Maine. I knit this at the bar when I went to go get my nails done. And I really pushed through this in a way that I was like excited to wear it for fall and winter. So here we are. I'm so proud of it. I think that this would look so good on top of a like kind of flowy white dress. So I want to make one of those. I feel like I'm at a point where I want to tackle bigger projects. So this was a really good practice and patience for me and just like commitment and sticking to it. And I'm really, really proud of how it turned out. So this next one was an absolute last minute contender. This was what I wore on New Year's Eve. And I made this with my knitting machine that I got for Christmas. I had to do a test swatch. I seamed it all together. I had to weigh stuff as I went to make sure I had enough for the sleeves. I had to redo the sleeves completely because I didn't have enough of this brown cotton to finish the entire sleeve. So I ended up using some wool here. can already see it distorting by hanging here just from this video. So make sure to fold your knits, don't hang them, but it's turned out super cute. And I also made a bunch of hats with my knitting machine. It's been like a fun little toy to have, and I gave a lot of people hats for Christmas this year because it was super fun to make them. So I think in total this year I made about 40 pieces, which is a little bit less than I made last year, but I'm totally cool with that. When I look at my wardrobe that I made this year, I feel really happy about all of the pieces that I made, and I feel very confident that they fit my style. I took things a little bit slower this year, used better techniques, and tried to make pieces that would really last in my wardrobe. So I hope that you like this video. I hope that you feel inspired. And if you want to stick around to see what things I make in 2023, please do by subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And please comment down below and tell me what you're planning on making in 2023. And if you had a favorite piece here. And I will catch you in the next video, and Happy New Year. Bye guys.